that surrounds us today, you've kind of quietened us with a direct message to literally, and can I say actually, smash the patriarchy, with good reason. Now, Dolly, Kitty or Wo Chamakte Sitare released over the weekend, and I saw the film last night. We could enjoy the film without a mask, pun intended. We didn't have to wear one. And, I want to ask you first, starting with you, Alankrita. Your topics have always been bold, different, willing to talk, willing to have a dialogue. You've made Lipstick Under My Burqa, which unfortunately I have to confess I didn't get a chance to catch. And now you have this film. Now, your film sometimes raises questions, other times they give a lot of answers. What's the Alankrita brand of filmmaking, and what were you trying to communicate with this film that you haven't done earlier?
So first of all, I want to say that there's no such thing as the Alankrita brand of filmmaking.
That's my term.
I know. I mean, no, just to say that I think I want to make films about characters who speak to me, who mean something to me. I want to tell stories that fascinate me. I like exploring the interior world of women, and I just want to do my best in my be as honest and as sincere as I can be towards towards the characters and their lives. So I feel like I really don't know what my brand of what I want to do, etc. But I think for me that feeling that okay, this is a story that I really have to tell, and something I'm very very passionate about. So I need to feel for those characters and that world. I think that's very important. For me, I definitely not I'm not definitely not interested in telling stories of characters who already have a lot of privilege and power. So sometimes I feel right now, I'm more interested in stories where people are fighting to fight for a piece of sky and a piece of the earth kind of a thing. They're just trying to find themselves and make their lives. And so I find that very, very interesting. Dolly, Kitty or Wo Chamakte Sitare particularly is about these two cousins, Dolly and Kitty, who are living on the outskirts of Delhi, and both of them in their own way are trying to, it's about their journey, individual journeys, about finding out who they are and what they actually want and owning that, and coming to sort of peace with that. And it's about their relationship as well, this kind of love-hate relationship between the two of them that sort of leads, and how they kind of egg each other on to sort of find themselves. So it's about, women also having to break internal barriers, to own who they are and to confront what lies outside. So I think for me, that's really what the film is about. The beauty of the film is the beauty of Dolly and Kitty.
Nice. I'm going to dig into that a little more. But coming to Dolly Dee. Now, Dolly Dee, Konkona Sen Sharma, we never tire of seeing you on screen. I mean, I think you still don't do as many projects as we would love to see you in. But whatever you bring to the table, honestly, a self-confessed fan, Konkona. It is just a delight to watch,
Thank you.
Whether it's Wake Up, Say, every project, right from Mr. and Mrs. Iyer to Wake Up, Say, to every project, Life in a Metro, Page 3, everything. Now, this film and this role could only be made convincing with an actor of your caliber, and I'm sure Alankrita would agree with that without, I can't see any other person except for you do that role. Talk to us about what was your brief for this role, Dolly Dee. What did Alankrita tell you? Who is Dolly Dee?
I have to say that it's not like I can right now remember one thing, but I think it's like a accumulation of things. The way I received Dolly from her, I think, is that to begin with, the script was very well written. It was very well fleshed out. The characters were very well fleshed out, so it was easy to understand them, their context, the motivation behind Dolly, etc. And then after we, Alankrita and I sat and discussed many things. We had many readings, discussions, etc. We also did a fantastic acting workshop with Atul Mongia, who's so good, who we've worked with before. And one thing I think that I got slowly from Dolly and from Alankita about Dolly and slowly kind of percolated to me is that she is somebody. I discovered also is that she's somebody who is not necessarily seeing the truth of her life, and she has she is deluding herself to believing that she's happy. So what I really loved and I enjoyed it so much was the fact that she has, because Alankita had this thing about, she's like a doll in a doll house because, she's trying to be a particular way. She's like, oh, I have a husband, I have this job, I have a car, I'm getting this house, I have 2 kids, and I'm, this is the food and all of that. And so she's playing a part in many ways and she has fooled herself. So somebody who has fooled herself is also a little bit like if she's not really seeing the truth about herself, there's in the beginning especially not so much stillness around her, to stop and receive and listen to herself. There's a lot of, yeah, I'm distracted by this. And, it's like the bubbles, when the Kitty is trying to tell her about her husband's lecherous face, she's like, oh, bubbles.
Yeah.
Or, when guests come over, it's like, oh, you have to talk, let's do this. So she's kind of distracted and hectic and busy with many other things. So that it's very noisy and hectic, so that she's not really listening to her inner self. And that really helped me to understand, it's happening like this. And then she's seeing Kitty behave in particular ways and she's like, I don't ever had this thing and I also want it. Kitty wants it. How strange. I also want it. I don't have it. Let me also try. So those things are also happening. It's like she was asked to want certain things like child, marriage, husband, house, car. But because of Kitty, she's realizing there are other things also she wants to try, which she's also trying, and which leads her to kind of understand more about herself. And I want to say that I'm so grateful and so lucky to have gotten this role because, I've been acting for so many years. And most often, I play women who are very morally upright, who are very good, very earnest, very strong. And, it's very boring. So not just to play an out-and-out villain like an Ek Dyer, that is also interesting, but also to play characters who are, who experience some growth through the film, or who are in a point of transition, or they experience particular truths about themselves or about others. Those are very interesting, and not to play this kind of very typical roles of, a strong woman only. I don't, sometimes, very strong women also make very bad choices and those are very interesting. So I'm happy and I'm grateful that I've got this role, and I'm glad that Alankita has written these kind of roles.
Nice. When we saw this film, in groups. We had over in different geographies because we decided, it's the weekend, let's watch it together. Somebody was watching it in US, we were watching it in Singapore, another friend was watching it in their house in Singapore. And then, we kind of got into a debate in the film, towards the middle. And then it kind of became that we were at loggerheads with each other, and then I realized that I should throw this question when I talk to you tomorrow as to what is your take. Now what happened is through the film, while we were, a lot of us felt that हाँ भाई डॉली को क्या ही प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब ऐਵੇਂ ही सियापा खड़ा कर दिया. She seemed happy, she's adjusted, she's married willingly, then she's turned adulteress, and then a lot of people were like, oh, she has everything going in for her, until we really realized what the problem with the husband was. So we had a lot of these conversations through the film. I wouldn't say all the comments were right, neither all were wrong. What's your response to that? क्या कमी रह गई डॉली को? Apart from, of course, the fact that her husband was...
We both have things to say.
I know, but I want both of you. I'll start with Alankita, or I'll start with you. Either one, actually. Anyone.
Start with Alankita. She's the creator of this role.
Yeah. Alankita.
So I feel that this is exactly the thing, that Dolly is a kind of person who would look at someone else having an affair and say, what an adulteress, it's wrong, she shouldn't do it. And that's precisely the point of that journey, that because she's kind of bottled up so many things inside of her and not faced them, she's being very happy playing by the rules of society, doing whatever's supposed to be right. She's trying to be like the proper wife, the proper mother, the proper hostess, etc., and being all like bubbly, etc., and also being very judgmental of Kitty. But the thing is that very often when we pass judgments on other women, it's often reflecting something about our own inner lives. And I think it's interesting if these kind of conversations happen, because I think it's very telling, of what is happening inside of us. So I think it's interesting if we say these things or ask questions or whatever, it makes us, so I feel like if we can see pieces of ourselves through these characters, like something gets reflected back, even in how we feel. Sometimes we might not like what the character is doing, and there might be a lot of judgment, but there's some truth about my own life that lies in that judgment. So I think for me, it's interesting that, this kind of conversation was happening between you and your friends. And as a filmmaker, that's what you want to do. You want people to engage in different ways. They can like a character, they can be angry with a character, they can root for a character, then be like, why has she done this, So I think that's interesting. And I feel once a film is made and it's out for people to watch, it's really, the film becomes a different thing for every person who's watching it. It's about then that person's life experience and the reading of that material, and which is why it's so subjective what people feel about characters or about the film per se. So I'm very happy with all kinds of engagement with a film,
Absolutely.
And it's fascinating to sort of hear.
Konkana, what about you?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with what Alankrita is saying anyway to begin with. And I'm also thrilled when films are not, it's nice when films don't tell us what to think, and often they do that, like in many ways, like colors or like music. They'll play some happy music or they'll play some sad, scary music. It's like, oh, it's my cue to feel scared. Or now it's my cue to feel like this. So it's nice. I personally enjoy it when, you are not told how to think. And that often, when a film is thought-provoking, and so that you can have discussions around it. You don't always have to agree with the film or with each other. But it's interesting because these are, I feel, important issues which can be discussed and talked about. That's what I like about the film. Also the fact that, Dolly should be happy. Why? Because she's doing what is expected of her. Are we then supposed to lead unfulfilled lives? What if something is not making us happy? Do we live unfulfilled lives? Does that not come out in other ways? Do we not take it out on our husbands, our children, or the people close to us? And how is that detrimental? I mean, these are complex issues and there's no one answer, but these are questions one can ask of oneself and of other women, and not to necessarily be judgmental about other women. So-and-so may have done something. You don't know what the husband is doing. You don't know what the wife is doing. You don't know what kind of understanding they have. They may, the husband may be impotent or maybe, interested in other women. So if you don't have a sexually satisfying life, do you not have a right? If you're one life, do you not have the right to live a fulfilled life of your own as a woman? So these are very important issues which we're not, I think, addressing for women, because women are supposed to live a particular kind of life, and then are we just supposed to pretend that everything is okay? And that, I find, is detrimental and harbors resentment.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to take a couple of questions that came in from our listeners, because we threw in that we're going to be interviewing the two of you. But before that, I have this little game, because the clock is ticking and my heart is beating. So, we have this little game which is Quick, Dolly, Kitty, and their Sitare. Okay, so I'm going to ask you can give me like quick answers to this one. Now, the third Sitara in this film that is missing today is Bhumi Pednekar. Of course, she's done a fabulous job as well, and wonderful to see her and you and your chemistry. How is it working with her, both of you? Quick answers. Alankrita.
I think I couldn't think of anyone else who could have portrayed Kitty more true to how I had imagined her, as a person who's earnest, innocent, and yet so feisty from inside, and I think that combination of being innocent and romantic and yet wanting to stand up for herself, and trying to make it work in a world where she's come with hopes, and then having those hopes kind of dashed one after the other. So I just felt that Bhumi really has that quality which really brought Kitty to life. I think Kitty's conflicts and so much of her performance in the call center was just on her face, and I think she did it so beautifully. Literally we were constantly shooting with just like and she was stuck to that table. And to constantly emote with just that kind of restriction, that everything she had to do was just in within such a small sort of frame, and I think she really gave it her all.
Absolutely. Konkana, what about you? You had some great scenes with her.
Absolutely. I had the best scenes with her. I enjoyed working with her so much. I don't know why. I think it's because I think inherently there was a lot of trust between us. I think right from the start, when we started off, it just like it always felt that she has my back. I think there were like small unspoken ways in which we just like communicated through our gestures or our eyes. and we were just like we slipped into it so easily. There was never any animosity or competition. It just I think it's her manner. Firstly, she's innately talented. She's so good at her work. I really enjoyed her work in Dam Laga Ke Haisha. She consistently does interesting work as well.
Yeah.
I loved her in Zoya's short as well. Love Stories. And yes, I really enjoyed her work in that as well. And she made it very easy for us to work together, and there was a natural chemistry that we had, which is so important, because then it's relaxing as an actor. It's relaxing to me as Konkona, and so it's easier for me to be Dolly. And they say you're as good as your co-actors, and I can't even imagine now, Alankita, when you're pointing it out, when you're just on your own, shooting on your own with a desk and on a phone. It's so hard because you're not getting that interaction, with other characters, and she's done such a tremendous job. And I feel so proud of her because she's so young and she's in such great work.
Yeah, it was very nice to see the two of you together. We hadn't thought that Konkona and Bhumi would come together in a film. So it was like a fresh take on, wow, when we saw the trailer. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Now you have to give stars, okay? I'm gonna say certain things and you have to give stars. 1 star ki 5 star. Okay?
Patriarchy in between.
Indian between also. Yeah, 2 stars, 3 stars, jitne aap chaho. Okay?
2.5.
Patriarchy in Indian society. How many stars?
5 stars.
Yeah, patriarchy was flourishing. 5 stars to patriarchy.
Fantastic. Patriarchy in the film industry, Indian film industry, Bollywood.
Same. It's a reflection. Maybe you're right. 4. Yeah.
Just 1 or 2 films here and there.
Yeah.
Like some of them make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Validity of the noise in the Indian film industry today. How relevant? How many stars? You don't have to explain. Just stars.
0.
The village. I didn't understand. Validity of the noise. All the noise that's being made. Yeah. 0.
0, no? Okay. Which sitara, apart from Konkana and Bhumi, Alankrita, would you enjoy working with again? Which sitara?
Pappu. I don't want to adopt him. He's too adorable. He really has my heart. Pappu's just amazing.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, very good kid. Konkana, one sitara you think has a lot of potential and can do much better. You've seen that sitara around, but you think, yaar, ye isse better kaam to kar sakta hai, ya kar sakti hai. Anybody? Or can do better projects? Tell now. Something nice.
I think that that goes for a lot of people. I mean, I think that Amir Bashir is a fantastic actor, and we've seen him recently in Sacred Games. Sorry, in Sacred Games, and he's so good. And I would love to see more of him.
Nice, yeah. In fact, I didn't realize it was him until because with the beard and all, it was very hard to recognize him. So in the first scene, I didn't even know it was him in the Mela, and I'm like, somebody, because obviously they have to show this guy as a loser, so he's somebody. Then later I'm like, this guy's played so many good roles. He's been a good guy in so many films. Yeah. Oh, he's going to be the bad guy. So
people have loved him. People have really loved him actually in the film.
Yeah, absolutely. Vivek Vaidya, Amit, and Padmaja Naidu. We're going to take three people have asked our questions. Key message in the film and a word of caution for the people and media in the current scenario. And in the OTT platform, especially with there being no censorship on content, how do you draw the line?
So, for me, in terms of the key message of the film, I feel is really for people to find their own meaning actually through the journeys of Dolly and Kitty. And I feel if people can feel the joy and the heartbreak and, feel Dolly's dreams, Kitty's dreams, feel their victories and their failures and smile with them and laugh with them, I think for me that's most important. And I think there should be no censorship overall anywhere across platforms. I'm completely opposed to censorship. I think in a free and democratic country, there is no space for censorship, no matter what the platform. And that's my stance.
Okay.
And
Karan,
I
you want to
agree with
wrap it
Alexa
up?
completely. No, I'm happy.
All right. Finally, any
In the
message
interest of
for the
time.
audiences in Singapore? For Singapore.
I think people will relate to the film no matter where they are. I think that we had the same reaction even when we went to Busan with the Busan Film Festival, where we had a premiere, and we found so many Korean women, reacting so positively to the film. And I think people across the globe, I mean, women often have a shared experience in many ways, dealing with patriarchy, etc., motherhood, and so many other things. That I think people will relate to the film, and I would love it if people were non-judgmental about the film, keep an open mind, and see all the different interesting issues that we brought up in this film.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to me, and it was wonderful to talk to both of you. Looking forward to more films. Bye.
Bye.